the Solana trenches are heating up. We are on the eve of the meme coin super cycle. This is where you can literally make 10x's every single day. Right now, there's 10x's. There's even 100x's going on every single day while people are waiting for Bitcoin to boom. Other people are in the meme coin trenches making ridiculous sums of money. Even myself, I didn't make crazy amount of money, but I think I probably made 20 to 25 grand last week trading Solana meme coins. I'm going to show you the tools I use, what I look for in the coins that I buy, and exactly the timing that I like to make when I enter these trades. Because if you don't know these tools, there's going to be like a 99.9% chance that you are not going to be making money in the trenches. They are the most brutal place possible. But with that, if you know what you're doing, you'll literally be able to catch these tokens almost every single day, especially as the meme coin super cycle heats up. So let's just get started. Let's not fluff around at the start. Hit that like button down below for me, pretty please. And let's jump straight in, starting with this. This is why you want to play and trade in the trenches. Now, this is a graph of a life cycle of a meme coin, and a lot of them are going to look like this. This is the next Dogecoin, is the narrative, because people don't understand that meme coins are literally memetic ideas that are being shared around. What's going viral is what is an idea that connects to people, that has an element of truth in it, that's interesting, funny, curiosity invoking, or just ridiculous, that is going viral out there. Meme coins are just tokenized memes. People will find a meme online that's going viral on TikTok. I'm going to show you a bunch of the examples so you can start to recognize them yourself and literally create a coin to bring that community together and make some of them really rich and have some of them lose their money. But which ones get rich? Well, the ones who are earliest to the trend, in the trenches. If you are late to hearing the narrative, or you're late to whatever idea and memes going around out there, you might hit a 4x or a 5x. You might hit a 2x, but not sell your bag because you think it's still going to 100x. And you're likely to be the exit liquidity for everyone who was early. So the trenches are literally the earliest people into these meme coins and cryptos. Like I said, this is the furthest down possible we could get on the risk curve. And this is the risk curve of, say, you have $10,000 to invest. Basically, anything built behind this pink line is traditional finance, TradFi, which is not going to make you rich or retire your bloodline or do anything that you probably want to actually do. You're not going to be able to buy a Ferrari by investing 10 grand into stocks. It's a really slow game that barely out earns monetary inflation. However, Bitcoin, Solana, meme coins, even down to pump fun. This is the degenerate, high risk, high reward side of the world, the like underground fight club where we literally can today turn 10 grand into $1 million. I'm going to make a trade in this video with you. So fingers crossed we can make that 7 figures live on video. Now, here's an example of that. Peanut the Skrill. In the trenches, this was November 2024, and we actually saw a guy call a 37,000x return on this. You needed to be in these trenches in order to get this return. Even us on the YouTube channel, I think we covered this at about 90 mil, which felt late at the time. But no, the trenches went on, got listed onto a centralized exchange, and that's where most people heard about it when it was already at a $500 to $2 billion market cap. But guess what? That's where you only can get a 5x return. If you want the 37,000x, the crazy spike here without buying in and being that exit liquidity, just like that graph I showed you, you need to be in the trenches. You need to be getting in early using pump fund and Dex Screener and not centralized exchanges. I'm going to give you examples of exactly how to do this in this video. Now, this is Coinbase, the second biggest centralized exchange in the world behind Binance. Have a look. These are the cryptos that Coinbase listed that are tradable. So all assets, there's going to be 18,000 assets. How many cryptos are actually tradable on Coinbase? Well, there's only 295 because they have to vet it. They're SEC regulated. They have to make sure none of them are scams. It's very hard to buy tokens on Coinbase that aren't already in the billions of dollars of market cap, because this is the opposite of the trenches. This is where mainstream money will come and buy your bag's office. So this is the crypto whip. We talk about this all the time on the channel. The first like 2x's to 8x's, they are the tokens between $2 trillion market cap all the way down to the $100 million level. In the trenches, guys, we are trading tokens probably at the highest level, maybe about $40 million, down to the lowest level of a $25,000 market cap. And if we really are on the eve of a super cycle, and most cryptos are going to go up, probably 80% of cryptos in this realm up here, the 2 to 8x realm, are going to go up. And you can go and basically throw a dart at any of them, and they're all going to be trailing what Bitcoin's going to be doing, down to Ethereum, down to Solana. They're literally just going to be mirroring those gains, but with a little more volatility. Down here in the 100x to 1000x zone, 80% of them are not going up. 80% of them are going to crash to zero, not just 80%, probably 99% of tokens. There's going to be tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tokens that are going to crash to zero. But if you hit the right one, that's when you can get the peanuts. That's when you can get the 37,000x on your money. So this whole video is trying to help you become a more skilled trader to identify the 2 tokens out of 100 that are going to get you that 100x return, and make sure you don't invest in most of them because they are crashing to zero. And just one more word of warning before we jump into the real crunchy stuff. These are not long-term holds. These, how I trade these tokens, are literally day to day, hour to hour, sometimes week to week, depending. But if you want a longer term hold, if you're wanting to invest in meme coins for the duration of the meme coin super cycle, we have a lot of videos on this channel about it. But check out SBX 6900, which is just knocking on that door of that $1 billion market cap, pulled all the way down to $280 million market cap, which we've got videos on this channel of us screaming, this is what we're buying. I bought 6 figures at that, down at that level, about the $400,000 market cap. So this has done extremely well. But Murad thinks this is going to go, if you don't know who Murad is, go watch the full video breakdown this, to 20, 50, $100 billion plus this cycle. So that's a more long-term hold for me, where I can put larger amounts of money. Another token that I'm heavily invested in, at least compared to my portfolio, is a UFD, Unicorn Fart Dust. We have a whole video. We even have an interview on this channel of the founder of UFD as well, which is a much longer term hold. I want to see this go up to the hundreds of millions of market cap again with the whole meme coin super cycle, and I'm not going to be day trading this one. But let's get into the actual day trading, because some of this is boring. I mean, I've been holding UFD honestly from like way back here, and it's like, okay, we've had months of sideways travel, but I love crypto. I want to get more educated in crypto, more skilled, and I want to make more money. I can make an extra 5 figures a week if I know which tokens to invest in. So I want to be in the trenches, and I want to be trading degenerate Solana meme coins. So let's start with the environment. Then we're going to go into tools, and then we're going to go to specific tokens. Environment. There's 3 things that you want to look for in order to trade meme coins, because it's been boring. It's been sideways. You can see we're in a Bitcoin season, which this is the first of 3 factors. And this factor is not working in our favor at the moment. So it's going to get easier and easier, even though the other, one of the 3 factors basically is working in our favor. As the other 2 green lights switch, meme coin season is going to be printing a lot of people a lot of money. So I think we are a little bit early, but I've still been profitable over the last couple of weeks. So I highly recommend building your skills now, so when everyone's flocking in, you're doing extremely well and you're way higher skilled and can make more money. So as this will swing back to altcoin season, you'll see that liquidity pour down that crypto whip into the more degenerate plays, and meme coins, people are going to have more hope, people are going to have higher price targets, and they can go a lot higher. This is the one that is working in our favor, which this wasn't. This is the fear and greed index. How greedy and fearful is the market out there right now? Right now they're in greed, which people think there's a lot of money to be made, which is great because they're buying meme coins, and if we can beat them into buy and then sell before they sell, we can take their money off them. And so if this was down in the extreme fear of fear, which it was over the last couple of months, as you saw that big UFD 95% pullback, it's very, very hard to make profitable trades. So make sure you're checking the fear and greed index to see that it's up. But on top of the fear and greed index, you also want to see how much is the mainstream and normie crowd into crypto, because at the moment you can see they're not. I've typed in meme coin and Dogecoin into Google Trends, and the volume for this is at all-time lows. No one is here that's not in the crypto market already. And so as this climbs, you're going to have more and more liquidity come in, and dumber people come in, which are going to be throwing crazy amounts of money at it. Everything's going to be flying, and you're going to see very much a big upwards market. But even though the normies aren't here yet, we have had, and this is Solana, over the last, say, 1 month, if we zoom out here, a nice run up from $148 up to $174. So the market feels like it's going up. It feels like it's got velocity, and people are willing to spend. So depending on when you're watching this video, go and check the market so you can go see how degenerate and how bullish you can be when you're investing in these tokens. This is the last thing I'll show you, which once again, go watch the Murad SPX 6900 video if you want to hear more about why this is the meme coin super cycle. But he believes that we are going to go absolutely nuclear from September to March, which would be euphoric, and money will be raining from the sky because all the normies will be here buying absolute rubbish tokens with obviously no utility and even no roadmap or anything. They'll just be aping in because their friend just made $1 million and they want to do the same thing. Okay, so now let's take you to the trenches. Let's give you the 3 tools you need to start trading these meme coins. And also, I would start trading, another word of warning before we jump in, because these are extremely dangerous, but very profitable. That's the whole risk reward trade-off that we are making. Only start with money you can afford to lose. Maybe start with 1% of your entire crypto portfolio. Maybe start with 1% of your entire net worth. So it doesn't matter if you lose it, but you're learning the lessons along the way. That said, manage your own risk. Not your father. I don't believe I am, at least. So take your own risks. Pump.fun. This is the real degenerate trenches when anyone can literally make a coin in seconds. You can literally click create coin right here and have a coin live on the Solana blockchain. Not technically on the Solana blockchain, but on PumpFun, ready to migrate to the Solana blockchain once you get enough investors in it in probably 4 to 10 seconds. So you can see all these tokens that people are making. This is a way that you can start to discover new tokens. This is a discovery mechanism. Now, a step further along, this is a lot less degenerate than Pump.fun. This is Dex Screener, which is going to pull, if you click on Solana over here, all the meme coins that are on top of the Solana blockchain, all the memes that have graduated from PumpFun. You can see a little logo here. If they've graduated from PumpFun, they get the little PumpFun pill logo. And you can see, if we scroll across a little bit more, the market caps are going to be slightly higher here, where the market caps on PumpFun are basically less than $70,000 until they graduate. Here you can see they're already in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to the tens of millions. Even in this case, Launchcoin at 177 million, or Labubu here at $35 million. They are way higher in market cap, which means less volatile and less risk, but also less reward. And the last thing you're gonna need is a Solana wallet. Now we have, you can see Archie right here, the best Solana wallet for trading meme coins in the trenches. His name is Archie AI. And there's a lot of reasons why he's the best token, but basically he's the fastest, he's the safest, he's all on chain. You can trade in the trenches. We do giveaways and rewards where you can literally win meme coins just by funding your wallets. He's completely free to download, and in the examples in this video, I'll be using Archie to show you how easy it is to trade. So before we get started, click the link in the description, go to archiebot.ai. There's a link down there for you, and it'll come over to this page right here where you have to click. If we scroll all the way back up to the top, I'll click this little button, download Archie AI. Now, Archie lives inside of Telegram, so you can trade from the palm of your hand inside the Telegram app on your phone whenever you're out about, or if you have the Telegram app on your computer, you can trade on that. I'm going to be showing you a couple of examples today. But now we've got those 3 tools ready, let's get into the specific strategy of meme coins. So we're going to start once again with Murad. This is the guy I've mentioned a couple times. If you're not familiar with him, go watch our videos on Murad. Go and follow him on Twitter. He's the meme coin overlord at the moment who has tens of millions of dollars in meme coin. Now Murad has this pyramid, which is basically the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but for meme coins. And down the bottom, we have literally crappy coins, celeb coins, irrelevant memes, phrase coins. So I'm going to show you a couple of those. There's going to be some phrase trending on TikTok, and all of a sudden it's a token, and then all of a sudden it's got a $2 million market cap. Animal coins, culture coins, all the way migrating up to what he believes are going to be mission movements and new religions. Now, let's be real. Even the animal coin, something like Peanut, could still hit a $2 billion market cap, but we are basically trading right down here. Celeb coins and irrelevant memes that are going to fade from our existence and our minds in literally days. That is the biggest thing that you need to understand, is meme coins are literally coins that are attached to current viral memes and trends in the world. So this is an easy one I've shown before on the channel. Luigi Mangione, the alleged killer of the United Healthcare CEO. This is the Google trend interest for Luigi Mangione. And obviously it peaked in December 2024. When do you think that happened? Well, that's obviously when the shooting happened and the arrest happened. And you can see it's been trailing off ever since. This is a meme. It's a memetic idea that spreads. If you don't understand what memetics is, it's actually worth having a look if you want to go deeper. But basically, memetics is genetics, but for ideas. In genetics, you'll have people literally creating more people through their DNA. In memetics, you're literally having people sharing ideas through words and touch and sound and TikTok and whatever the latest piece of technology. And so let's have a look at the correlation between the meme coin, which is called Luigi. And this is obviously based on Luigi Mangione. And if you have a look at the shape of this graph, which peaked up at a $60 million market cap, there's a couple of people who literally made millions of dollars, 7 figures on this trade when it came out, spiked up really high and then has been trailing off ever since. It's almost an exact match. Even these two little bumps in here basically correlate to the actual trend and the strength of the meme in the real world. One of my favorite memes, which I really enjoyed, was "Everything is computer." And you can see this one didn't spike as high as Luigi because why? Well, like I said in the environment section, you need the market sentiment. The market sentiment was a lot lower here than it was in December. And so when was this? This was March, which is way lower sentiment. It only hit a 6 mil, where if this was going in the meme coin super cycle, this could possibly hit a 600 mil, which is why I say check out what environment you're trading in. Now, this went crazy. Now, if you don't know, everything is computer meme. Donald Trump got into one of Elon's cars and said everything is computer, and it sort of was like a viral meme that was spread where like everything is code, everything. It got taken to a real esoteric level. And even recently, if you have a look at everything is computer, obviously this spike was when it was said. Didn't really do much. Actually don't know what that spike is, but there's a recent spike. If we zoom in, it doesn't look like a spike, but if we zoom in far enough, you can see it went from 66K back up to 160K, so 2.5x. And that is because on Twitter, you had Elon Musk even replying to this, headed there from Everything is Computer, had 283,000 views. So people are literally trading, day trading attention, as Gary Vee said for years, but they're trading the attention and they're trading the influences on Twitter, people like Trump, people like Luigi, and then literally making meme coins and betting on those ideas spreading further. Another big one is Labubu. This is a massive toy. It's a toy. We'll stick with it's a toy. A lot of girls are putting these on handbags, and apparently there was some K-pop star that made it really big. This is the interest in Labubu over time. Well, Labubu also has a non-official, like this is a, as far as I'm aware, it's launched on Pump Fund, so it's not, and these are the little toys that the girls love. I'm sure some guys love them too. If you have a look at the graph of Labubu, which did hit a $50 million market cap, basically tracks a very similar trend to the actual Labubu craze, although over a way more compressed time frame here. You can see it's currently sitting at $36 million. Why? Because if we go back to Murad's graph, this is basically closer to a culture coin, and it's pulling everyone together who loves Labubus all around the world into this one token, this tokenized community. Now, my friend, who's made me a lot of money recently, was like, there's a derivative play, and this is one of the strategies that I'm teaching in this video. You can see what's doing really well. Labubu is the market leader, the blue chip stock, the music to all the other derivative coins below it. And then what will happen is things will pop up below it. So this is Cause, which is apparently the guy version of Labubu. And you can see that's only hit a 1.4 mil market cap, but it did that in the matter. If we go out of the 1 minute candles, the 1 day candles are too much. Let's go somewhere in the middle, the Goldilocks porridge. You can see it ran from obviously $100,000 up to 1.4 million. So a nice 14x return on this meme coin, because people are like, oh wow, Labubu is running. What other brands and cults are out there that people love, and how can we follow what Labubu is doing? So that's called a derivative coin. So if you're looking for these meme coins, I highly recommend that you're scrolling Twitter. I highly recommend, and I would recommend this in no other circumstance, but I highly recommend you scrolling TikTok. I highly recommend you're getting early on the news cycles. Even there was one, Macron, the French prime minister, who got his face smushed by his wife. There was one, there's a pass-through, which I've got here for you, which is the kangaroo that was trying to get on an airplane that was going viral recently, now up to a $323,000 market cap. And if you buy this pass-through down here at that $30,000 market cap, and then it goes up to a $300,000 market cap, even though it's not a large market cap, it's still a degenerate micro cap, that is a 10x return. And let me show you how easy it is to use Archie. So this is my Archie wallet, which you can get once you download it. Once again, link in the description. I've funded my wallet, and you can come over and check my portfolio here. You can see what I'm holding. That's some of the SPX I hold. So you can see cores. It's some of the cores I hold. A couple of other small ones which I traded this week. I've got a couple of wallets where I was trading other tokens as well, but the market just feels so fresh for it at the moment. And the nice thing about the Archie bot is you can literally come over to Dex Screener, copy the contract address, the CA they call it, and you can see that's pass-through where it says the ticker symbol. So if we go over to Tyrant, Tyrant is the ticker symbol. You can see up here the ticker symbol. That is right there, and if they're on Pump Fund, it'll end in PUMP. That is the contract address. All you have to do is literally click on it to copy it. You can paste that into Archie, and send that to Archie, and Archie will pull passenger kangaroo, the token that we were looking for. And then in one click, I can just say, for example, buy 6.19 Solana of passenger kangaroo, which, you know, it's been on a bit of an uptrend already. Fingers crossed it's going to keep going out. We'll check in at the end of the video to see how we're doing. But that's how easy Archie makes it to buy and sell tokens on the Solana blockchain. If you want more details, you can click on more details here, and it's going to show you the exact transaction fees, exactly how much is Solana, how much of US dollars, how many tokens you've got of passenger kangaroo, how many you hold total if you already held some in the wallet, exactly how it facilitated the trade. And if you want to view it on chain, you can click on that and go get your on-chain receipt for anything that you're buying or selling on Archie. But I want to go back to these trends for a second, because there was this trend, and it still is trendy. I'm sure you've seen them if you're on any sort of social media. The King Charles dog was this dog park somewhere, I believe South America or something. And there was this dog that was basically the head of all the other dogs. Let me mute that. But basically one of these dogs, King Charles, is the head dog, and he stands on other dogs' necks, and everyone's voting, there he is, that's King Charles there. And every other dog bows down to him. Well, King Charles had his own token called King, and you can see it skyrocketed from $100,000 up to a $20 million market cap very recently, just a week ago. Had a big cool off. A lot of the early people took profit and then pumped back up to a 17 mil. It's down to a $6 million market cap right now. But Tyrant, which was another recommendation from my friend, came through because apparently Tyrant, and if you're following the saga, was a new dog that entered the dog den and was now the alpha dog. He was standing on King's neck. So it's fascinating that there's these memes going around and everyone's seen them. You know, those things everyone's talking about, oh, did you guys see this? And they'll say that the TikTok or the Reel or the Reddit post that everyone's seen on their own independent platforms, they're the memes that are going to go the highest and do the best. So you can see Tyrant, for example, is back down to a $73,000 market cap after being a derivative coin of King and getting up to that $450,000 level. Now, once again, if you want to use Dex Screener and Archie combination, you can pull this up here. So Dex Screener's got some really cool tools. This is the Tyrant. We're going to use an example. You can see what percentage of the supply people are holding. And if they're holding too much of a percentage of supply, you don't really want to get into it, because it's what's called a bundled coin or a bundled meme, where people sniper it off launch and they can sell into you and just take all your money away. So a 4% is getting slightly high, but it's not too bad. It's only about $3,000 at this market cap. Anything in the double digits is definitely too high for me, but of course there's always exceptions to the rules and rules to the exceptions. Liquidity should be locked, so they can't rug the coin on you. You can see how much liquidity is locked by just clicking on this little lock button. 100% liquidity must be locked in order for me to invest in a coin. Once again, if you want to invest in a coin, you can click on the contract address, come over to our Archie, and you can, remember, you can paste this in from anywhere inside of Archie. You don't actually have to be on the buy page. If you do want to do it through the buy page, you can click on buy. It's going to give you some trending tokens. There's our SPX 6900. You can search by ticker symbol, or you can search by contract address. Contract address is obviously the most specific because they're unique to all tokens. And say I wanted to have a custom buy, say 4.6 Sol is too much. Enter the amount of Sol I want to buy of Tyrant. Maybe I want to buy one more Solana Tyrant. Archie will go out and do that for us. And so the big thing that you need to stay on top of while you're out here in the trenches, whether you're finding tokens on Pump Fund, which you can simply scroll here, or you can search. I actually find new tokens, like I'll see Macron be pushed in the face, and then I'll come in and I'll search for Macron, and you can see the tokens slap coin because he got slapped. Now I wouldn't invest in this because this is a terrible, and it didn't take off because it's like, put the actual photo of Macron on here. You want to be looking at the fundamentals of the token or whatever. Basically it's like the photo, do they have a Twitter account that looks good, and are you early enough? Which on Pump Fund do give you some protection, because you can always sell the tokens that you put in here before it migrates, and basically they only lose a very small amount of money, worst case scenario. But come in and search for any trends that you're seeing on TikTok and on Twitter. And if you're using Dex Screener, make sure you clicked on Solana, because Solana is basically all the meme action is at. And you can have a customizer. Let me just widen this screen for you for a sec. If you click on filters, a couple of criteria that I like to put in is that the pair age, if you want the real degenerate low cap ones, is less than 6 hours. But then you also want to make sure that it's not a dead token. So you may want to come in and put something like, oh, I want at least $2,500, and you can play with this amount depending on what results you're getting. of volume trader, which means people are actually buying and selling these tokens. You can sort by market cap, high or low. So you can see these as just the $10,000 market cap level, which you don't need as much liquidity. My friend was telling me a couple of days ago in the gym, if there's not many people buying and selling the token, the buyers are going to pump the price a lot quicker. So if we go down here, you can sort of find, like there's Passthrough, the one that we invested in. You can sort of find interesting memes. You can go and look how well they're doing on Google Trends, on TikTok, on Twitter. And if there is another chapter to the meme, meaning like Luigi Mangione, he's going to have his trial. He's going to have his sentencing. There's going to be a lot more attention shining on Luigi in the future compared to something like, say, Peanut the squirrel, which that just happened to be graduated into a centralized exchange. But how many people are going to be thinking about Peanut the squirrel in the future if it wasn't already on a centralized exchange? It's like once the squirrel died, it's not really going to be re-entering the public cognosphere. So let's buy one more together. I'm also going to come in here. We're going to search by what's happened in the last hour. We want some upwards momentum, but nothing crazy. So this is Labu Land. This looks like a derivative coin based on Labubu. The liquidity is locked. It has been going up and to the right for the last 3 hours. So let's just grab a little bit of Labu Land. Once again, make sure you are using Archie in order to get these tokens real quickly, literally 2 clicks. So it's discovering token, and now we are in the token as quick as that. Once again, you can win meme coins literally by using the Archie wallet. We have a lot of awesome features to come, so I highly recommend getting in and giving us your feedback. We're going to be listening to you, and I'm going to be showing you more awesome meme strategies as they come up and as this meme super cycle continues. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.